Welcome back to Heroes of Light and Shadow. After leaving Gra, let's follow Mary Sue's advice and head for the pass. That certainly won't backfire in our faces. Except the area says Adria Peak, not Pass. Kinda weird there, but, well, judging by this artwork here, we're gonna be meeting some old friends here. Including two of the most broken pieces of brokenness in all of Shadow Dragon. Yes, the Wolfguard are back, and of course, since they're incredibly loyal to Hardin, they will be our enemies this time. And, though, as you can see there, Roshi looks a little bit angsty. You'll see why that's the case when we get into the chapter itself, but for the time being, just remember, Wolfguard, enemies. That does not sound good, but fortunately, their amazingness in that game came from their growths, not their base stats, and, well, enemies can't really make use of growth, so they're not going to be too tough an opponent, but now this chapter is actually very short, and if you do it right, very easy. In fact, it really says something that this is the first non-side quest chapter I'm doing that has all fit into one part. So, I'm actually not splitting this at all, and also, this is one of the few chapters in the whole game, like very, very few, where no new characters join you in the chapter itself. Technically speaking, Frost joins us starting from the battle preparations of this map, but, other than that, there are no new characters in this chapter, and I kind of spoiled a bit of a plot point there, but anyway. So, we've got Wolfguard here, Paladins, oh, there we go, Violent and Roshi, the two Paladins of the group, and a couple of generic Paladins. Wolf, the leader, and Sedga, his second in command, they were the two broken ones. They're back to being horsemen, and they've brought a bunch of generic horsemen with us. A couple of Arcanian Paladins in that village, now that village is very important. A cave there, only one save point. Now the fact they only give you one save point in this chapter should tell you how short it is. Anyway, General with a Master Seal, or Boss, if you can call it that. A whole heap of generals near the castle, some with the Killer and Silver Lances. The enemies are not pulling their punches when it comes to weapons from this point on. And a couple of ballistas. Fortunately not the kind effective against flyers, so that's nice. Though I do believe that in the original Mystery of the Emblem, Hoist Flam was effective against flyers. I'm not sure, you can look it up on Serena's Forest if you want, but you probably have to look under Fire Garden, its Japanese name. Yeah, the ballista names in the Japanese version were a little unimaginative. Speaking of which, the Aerospate was called... It's kind of weird, because it was always called... fan translations always called it Quick Rain, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be Quincrane, which I believe is... Okay, thank goodness for Wikipedia. It's actually a reversed version of Cranequin, which is the device used to arm a crossbow by cranking a gear. Again, according to Wikipedia. So, yeah, I knew it was something other than Quick Rain, but why'd they reverse the two terms? I guess that might be just a case of Japanese gratuitous. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not English. I don't know if it's French, but anyway, I know it was meaningful in some way, but yeah, the English version changed it to Aerospate, so I don't know why I'm saying this now, but anyway, we've got 12 characters here, and here you can see Frost. Now, if you check the battle preparations, this is actually the only way you'll be seeing his base stats or his starting items. It's very easy to forget he's even there, so just remember that you've got an extra physics staff and Thundertome if you want them. Now, I'm going to have to bring Militia here because the strategy I use to complete this chapter as quickly as possible, it requires either the Again or the Warp Staff, and Elrond's not quite at high enough staff rank to use those. I'm going to go for the Again staff just because I haven't shredded off in this playthrough yet. Of course, in the original Mystery of the Emblem, you could again spam to get through this chapter in as little as one turn. It involved gratuitous use of Zane, but it was still pretty doable. Anyway, Bast is... well, everyone's starting to max their stats, really, so... yeah, so you probably won't be seeing as many stat ups in level ups from this point on. Now, of course, Katria's got quite a few stats she still needs to max, but... She's not even close to halfway through a level, so she'll get there. She'll definitely get there. Ryan has maxed everything except speed, which is weird, because speed is probably his, well, its growth is equal to strength, so it should by all means be your second best stat, but... Well, actually, your strength base is higher, so maybe third best stat, but it's still supposed to be pretty good, so I don't know why he's getting speed screwed. Anyway, time for her to retrieve the Again Star. Anything else I need? Oh, she can use Fortify, but I'll probably want to save that for later. Yeah, Fortify requires an A rank in this, which is kind of strange, seeing as it usually never required the highest staff rank. Like I said, in the original Mystery of the Emblem, the Again staff actually required a maximum 20 weapon level. It was probably the only thing in the whole game that required 20 weapon level. I mean, most of the legendary weapons only required, I don't know, what, maybe 14, 15? So, Again was really, I mean, staff wielders, with the Again staff, were really the only ones who actually needed to get to max weapon level, but seeing as on the good characters, weapon level growth was generally really high, it didn't really matter that much, but like I said, there was a good reason for that, given how broken the Again staff was, but it's been nerfed pretty heavily in this game, and for good reason, because you could just utterly trivialize chapters with that. Of course, now, the Warp Staff is kind of, well, lets you do similar stuff. And hey, her speed is roughly the same as Ryan's, even with her time spent as a Swordmaster, so I guess it is something to do with the class's base, I don't know. Anyway, I am going to make Mary Sue a Draco Knight this time, because I haven't done that yet, and I just wanted to show it off. Of course, weapon ranks aren't exactly that great. I mean, you've only got E and axes. Of course, it wasn't until the more modern games like Radiant Dawn when axes became the Draco Knight's default weapon type. And from what I've seen of Awakening, you face lots and lots of Wyvern Riders with axes in that game. I mean, Draco Knight, whatever, class names. Anyway, you start in this big line formation, but you definitely want to make sure that your staff user is in range of Fina and... Well, actually, no, Marth should be in range of Fina. Sorry, I'm a little out of sorts at the moment. Also, we want to bring the VIP card. I'm not bringing the silver card because I won't actually be buying anything from this secret shop. I'll just be showing off what it sells. Just because, yes, there is a secret shop in this chapter, and yes, it sells some kind of interesting items, including it's the only place in the game to get one certain item, but you'll see it when I get there. Oh, wait a minute, Mary Sue isn't equal speed with Brian. No, he's still got it. She still has a 2-point lead on him, but anyway, time to save, and let's begin this chapter. I'm going to have to do some rapid-fire explaining. Okay, so let's begin this chapter, and immediately we are greeted with the Proud Commander. Again. You know, I think I've lost count of the number of times it's played so far. See, remember when earlier I told you not to make a drinking game of this because we'd die? I wasn't kidding. Anyway, so, Roshi here is being all reluctant, but Wolf is supremely loyal to Hardin, so he wants us to, he wants them all to attack. Who they refer to as Coyote, not the Coyote, just Coyote, but no D. Interesting. I guess they said that in their Death Quote to the Shadow Dragon, I'm not sure, but anyway. Well, I mean, the Japanese title was Wolf of the Plains, but for some reason that seems really cliched. That same title is used in an awful lot of things. But, anyway, so yeah, Roshi's the only one out of them who's actually smart. The others seem to think that Marth is the evil one, which really makes absolutely no sense. And for some reason, Wolf has lost respect for him. Basically, yeah, Roshi does seem eager to betray the Wolfguard and defect to us, but he won't. He's too, you know, they're all pals, so he's not going to betray his friends. So we have a bit of a dilemma. Now, the Wolfguard can't be recruited, at least not yet, so you want to keep them alive. But since you can't recruit them, how do we complete this chapter without killing them? Well, you'll see here, there's a village here, and apparently the King of Aurelis is here. Aurelis is of course where the Wolfguard hailed from, so maybe if we go there, then the Wolfguard will stop attacking us. This means we need to hightail it to that village really quickly if we want to avoid fighting the Wolfguard. Yes, you really want to avoid fighting them because, again, they're not recruitable in this chapter, but that doesn't mean they're not recruitable, period. So here's the thing. Once Marth visits the village, the Wolfguard will all leave, but I'm not one to waste perfectly good experience, so we're going to just get as many kills off them as we can before they actually go. Of course, we're not going to fight the actual Wolfguard themselves. So basically, you want to get Marth to hightail it to the village as fast as possible, because otherwise the Wolfguard are all too eager to suicide themselves against your best characters. Kinda like Caesar and Rand. You know, back then, the only solution was to complete the chapter as fast as possible? Well, in this chapter, the main solution is to visit the village. You could simply complete the chapter as fast as possible by rushing the castle, and I reckon that's doable in one turn. But you really don't want to. You really don't want to. You see, that village has something more important even than saving the Wolfguard. Something very, very important. And that is why I like the fact that the remake added a conversation stressing the village's importance. Yes, that conversation about the King of Aurelis being in the village, that was not there in the original Mystery of the Emblem. And because of that, the item you get out of the village, which is absolutely vital, was a huge guide dagger, and was easily lost forever. Yeah, you don't want a really plot-relevant item like that to be so easily missable. So, I guess there's a good thing they added this, precaution with this new conversation, which again, wasn't in the original game. Now, Marth can't quite reach the village, with Fina dancing for him, so we're going to need to use the Again Staff. Alternatively, you can use the Warp Staff to send Marth over there immediately. That's probably the more efficient option, it's just that I have already used the Warp Staff and shown that, so I wanted to show what the Again Staff actually does. Plus, you know, I mean, actually using the Again Staff is important. Next, we need to get into position to fight the generals over here, but not quite into their range just yet. We don't want to have too much on our plate all at once. That cave is also somewhat significant, but anyway. Now, here's what the Again Staff does. It's long range, like Physic, and it lets one ally move again, kinda like a dancer, and hey, that was not a bad level up. Anyway, Marth can now visit the village here. So, here we meet King Aurelis, and here the second version of the, I think it's called Destiny theme? Yeah, this is one who challenges fate. Did I talk about this last chapter? Yeah, the version of this theme that played when Samson and Sheena were talking is called One Who Accepts Fate. In the original Mystery of the Emblem, the two were the same song, called just Destiny. But now they've split it into a more sad version and a more, well, I don't know, I guess defiant version? Yeah. Anyway, now that line by Marth there, I'm pretty sure he says that even if you haven't killed any of them. But, yeah, given that I killed a couple of them for cheap experience, anyway. So yes, the King Aurelis is of course, Hardin's brother. He also doesn't have a name. The King of Talis, actually does have a name revealed in the designer's notes, Mostin. This guy, not even in the designer's notes, he doesn't even have a name revealed, he's just called King Aurelis, that's it. No one ever, yeah. But, from that village, we get, as you can tell by that fanfare, something utterly vital. We get the nerfed sphere, life sphere. Yes, this has another one of the things that's been nerfed in this game. Of course, now that you visit the village, the Wolfguard will all run away. Of course, the Paladin here is not Wolfguard, he'll stay, and he's in range of Fina. I calculated that she wouldn't die from this though, so, yeah, I guess I can show her fighting a little bit. Anyway, like I said, Life Sphere has been nerfed slightly in this game. Well, not so much slightly, actually, in quite a big way. In this game, what the Life Sphere does is it restores 20 HP to the holder at the start of every turn, player phase, of course. So basically, it makes the holder really durable, and so basically most damage they take in the enemy phase, they'll recover right at the start of this phase. Now, why has it been nerfed? In the original Mystery of the Emblem, the Life Sphere healed all your HP at the start of every phase. Yeah. I guess they figured that with classes that have 30 defense caps now, that would be just beyond broken. So yeah, Life Sphere has been nerfed, but again, like the Again Staff, probably for good reason. Now let's just go hit the save point and continue this chapter. Now with the Wolfguard gone, the rest of this chapter is pretty much smooth sailing. Yeah, this is the thing, this is why this chapter is so short and, you know, pretty easy. In the original Mystery of the Emblem, a large squad of Draconites appeared from the top of the map to turn the Wolfguard lead, and they could be quite challenging. In this game though, well, there's a bit of life sphere there, but it didn't really restore that much. Anyway, I'm also showing something here. Caves, remember what I said about caves? They always had hidden items in them? This one has an arm scroll. Fortunately, there's no dragon in this one. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen that Draconite squad ever spawn in this game. So this chapter's a lot easier than it used to be. Yeah, again, in the original game, yeah, there were more reinforcements, and things did get kind of dicey with them. And some people were, yeah, argued whether or not it was actually better to deal with the Wolfguard than to deal with those guys, but... Well, I mean, of course it's better in this game, because you don't want to hurt any of the Wolfguard. In the original Mystery of the Emblem, you could feel free to kill Wolf, Cedra, and Violent there. The only one you had to worry about was Roshi. In this game, yeah, you don't want to fight them at all. Trust me, you'll see why in the next chapter. But, for the time being, I'll just say that, yeah, in the original game, a lot of people just loved killing the Wolfguard just because, they kind of sucked in the original version of Mystery of the Emblem. Now that Wolf and Sedgar have much better growths, yeah, they have a soft spot in most Shadow Dragon players' hearts, and no one would really, you know, want to kill them. Good thing I got that Ione shield, by the way. And good thing none of those generals can attack me. So... I had a few problems with these generals, though, which you'll see on... the Fail Channel! Welcome one, welcome all to another installment of the Fail Channel. Except in this case, we have another fail/win in store for you. Technically speaking, this was still a fail, but like some of the early ones, I kept this due to the ridiculous feats of awesomeness one of my characters achieved shortly before death. What is it with my characters being defiant to the end or something? Anyway, in this attempt of this chapter, I decided to lure all the generals with Sirius alone, thinking that he was so awesome, he could handle himself perfectly well. And the sad thing was, he almost could. So, let's see here. 1 Ballista. Would have really preferred if you dodged that Sirius. 2 Ballista. Again, I would have liked a dodge there. 1 General. 1 critical. And a dodge, too. 2 criticals! That's 14%. Another general. 3 criticals! Well, not another critical, but still. That's 3 consecutive criticals at 14%. That's pretty damn insane. Now, he'd die if he gets hit by this, but oh, he dodges. No more criticals, but still. Pretty nice. Unfortunately, he just couldn't dodge this last one. You know, if he dodged these ballistas, this could have been a successful run, but no. I think it's pretty safe to say that if Sirius is going down, he's taking everybody with him. 3 consecutive criticals at 14%. The chances of that are like... Hang on a minute, let me use my calculator. They're about 0.003%. That's roughly 3% of 1%. Wow. Sirius is amazing. Sadly, yes, I would have loved it if that was in the successful run and I had actually shown that properly on camera. But as it stands, this moment will be immortalized forever in the Fail Channel, or should I say this time, Fail/Win Channel. See you next time. So this time I decided to play it a bit safer, and have Narbal tank on the woods, because really, even then, dodge tanking is pretty non-existent in this game. You really can't do it. Not against things with weapon triangle advantage. Speaking of weapon triangle advantage, I forgot to mention in all those, my stuff on ranking bonuses, The weapon triangle, how much of a bonus you get from it actually depends on your weapon rank. I believe it's actually your weapon rank compared to your opponent's weapon rank, too. So, Serena's Forest has the full details. I won't bore you with the actual full stats this time. But, suffice to say that on Lunatic mode, when just about every single enemy has A ranks in everything, right from the start, yeah, that can get pretty nasty. Anyway, get some experience from Marth here. Now, at this point, Marth's defense is starting to look a little low. He's still pretty good in the offense department, it's just that he's starting to take more and more damage, and yeah, 12 defense is not good by this point in the game standard. So, that is a bit of an issue, and so yeah, Marth is starting to get a little bit less, like, it's less safe to put him right in the enemy's range than it used to be, and I believe that is max speed. Yes, it is. So, Ogba's now max speed, and he's well on his way to maxing strength and skill, too. Yeah, in the original Shadow Dragon, you were lucky to get him to max his many stats. I mean, he was still good there, it's just... And I really desperately want to improve, my axe... Actually, no, this is Merisu, not Catria, sorry. Blame identical palettes, I certainly do. Yeah, that's the one annoying thing about this game. I like the fact that in all the other games, you know, you had... Again, like I said, unique palettes for each character. And I'm pretty sure Awakening's gone back to that, except for Spot Pass characters, and even then, they have different color schemes. Though, the Black Knight no longer has black armor. That's weird. Also, gigantic warning, if you're planning on using the Spot Pass Black Knight, just a warning, generals in Awakening are unhelmeted by default. So if you haven't played Radiant Dawn, you probably don't want to use the Spot Pass Black Knight. Just saying. Anyway, right, I'm really running out of things to talk about in this chapter. Like, basically, yeah, this chapter, after the Wolfguard are gone, it's really, yeah, not that big a deal. I got this feeling that reinforcements would come out of that fort. I'm pretty sure they don't. Again, there used to be Draconite reinforcements in the original Mystery of the Emblem. There aren't anymore. And, oh crap. Well, at least that would have, like, no chance of hitting me anyway. Right, just one more Ballista and a whole bunch of Bishops to go. Just getting some last-minute level ups for everyone. Actually, there is one thing I need to talk about. It's not exactly about this chapter, more of a technical thing on my end. Ugh! See this segment? This whole bit up, everything past the first save point, or the only save point, actually. Everything past the save point. I had to record this 3 times. I had to record this 3 times. So this is actually what you're seeing here is in fact my 3rd attempt at this. And all of them were successful. You know why? Well, the thing is, yes, my Desmume has this annoying habit of crashing. If it crashes during the recording, I lose all the footage and have to start again from scratch. Now, normally it's pretty cooperative. In this chapter, well, it wasn't. Basically, yeah, it made me re-record this 3 times, because the first time I did this, it crashed during the ending speech with Marth and Mary Sue after seizing the castle. The second time I did this chapter, I got around that far, it wasn't crashing, I got right to the very end, I was literally just about to seize the castle, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm so glad it hasn't crashed yet, like it did last time, and it crashed. Yes, it crashed right when I thought that. I'm sorry, I'm not joking, that's what actually happened. 3rd time, which is what you're seeing here, yeah, it actually works. So, yeah, I had to repeat this 3 times, and some of the level ups I got here were actually not as good as some of the level ups I got in my early attempts, but they crashed. Crashing. Anyway, we're now fighting the quote-unquote boss. I say boss in inverted commas because, well, this guy doesn't even get a boss theme. He's technically not even, technically speaking, Wolf is the boss of the map, he's the one with the boss theme. Anyway, I'm now going to show you the secret shop. It's right here in this single plain tile surrounded by 2 mountain tiles. So anyway, this secret shop, it's not all that interesting. It's got 3 Master Seals, but the one that's really interesting here is the 3rd and final Elysian Whip. Yes, I'm not going to buy this because I have no use for it, obviously. I have no more Pegasus Knights I can promote. But anyway, there it is, the 3rd and final Elysian Whip. So, yep, that's it. If you really like Falcon Knights, there's the last one. So yeah, there's 3 in this game. That's the last one. I keep saying that. Anyway. And hey, the epic victory thing is back, and this time it's not being cut off, which, yeah, is awesome. Also, another thing I want to mention here, the castle there is oddly fancy for just a random fortress in the middle of a random pass no one lives in. Yeah, it actually is fancier looking than most of the nation's capital city castles. In fact, it may even be fancier looking than the palace itself, which we'll be seeing next chapter, which is really weird, again, seeing as this is just some random location in the middle of nowhere, but, I mean, I don't know, C's mechanic dictates that the game has to, have a castle, in every chapter, but still, anyway. So, apparently, there's been a rebellion that's broken out in the palace, and Midia is in trouble once again, yeah. But before we go, I just want to show you one more thing. Since the Wolfguard technically are the bosses of this chapter, it'd be a shame not to show off their battle quotes, so I have an alternate file where I showed that, so I'm going to do that now. What? Oh, come on, I had to use that theme, didn't I? I mean, it's kind of obligatory I make that reference. I resisted it for this long, I just couldn't help myself. Oh, and you might notice that I forgot Violent. I forgot Violent, too. Yeah, that just goes to show how much no one cares about him.